Hi everyone, this is Yana, and today I'm excited to join Create a Smile for their December 2014 release. In case you don't know, Create a Smile is a stamp company based in Germany. I have already had a pleasure working with their stamps, and I've shared a few videos which I'll link to here. Today I'm going to be working with their Monster Clear stamp set, and I will be making a fun birthday card. I love these cute monsters in the set. You have two big monsters and then two smaller monster images in this stamp set. What I love about this set is that these monsters have one hand sticking out like they are holding something. And now, just if you look closely, you'll see that the hand is kind of like folded. I'm not sure if this is a proper way to say it. It looks like it's folded and it is holding something. Now, you also have these other images that you can put in the monster hand. You have balloons, you have a flag, a coffee cup, and some flowers. So you can really stick things into their hands and make it look like these monsters are holding them. And you don't have to do any masking for that. That is really cool. And of course, you also have some fun matching sentiments that go along with these images. Okay, enough chit chat, let's get inky. So I've inked up my monster stamp and I did erase the ink from the monster hands, and just to be safe I also masked his hands using washi tape. I'm doing this because I want my monsters to look like they're standing together with their hands behind each other, kind of like they're holding each other or hugging each other. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink for stamping today because I will be doing some Copic coloring. But I think this particular card idea would also look awesome with watercolor. You can quickly watercolor your monsters, maybe even go outside the lines a little bit to make it a little bit more artsy and creative. So once my first monster is stamped, I'm going to go ahead and mask him. I've already made a few masks for these images using thin printer paper. There is specialty masking paper, but I don't have any on hand, so I'm simply using thin printer paper. I usually tape this down using removable adhesive, but I had my craft room cleaned a couple days ago and I can't find it, so I'm using washi tape instead this time. Okay, time to stamp the second monster. I'm actually going to stamp a small one first, then mask him, and then stamp the second big monster on my card. So after I've stamped my monsters, I'm going to go ahead and add those additional images for them to hold. I'm going to add a flag, and by the way, you can fit a small sentiment inside that flag if you wanted to. I'm also going to stamp a few balloons. For my second monster, I want him to hold something, maybe some flowers, and in order for him to do that, I need to stamp his hand. I did not stamp the one that was supposed to be on that side, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the hand from the other side for this monster. Again, I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, but in a smaller packaging. This is a dewdrop ink pad. In this way, I have more control over where I'm applying the ink, and I don't have to mask the image. I am going to mask it just in case, as I don't want to have all of this ruined just because I had some extra ink somewhere. So now my monster has a hand, and he can also hold something. I can go ahead and stamp some flowers, again using that same Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I also stamped the Let's Party sentiment because obviously these monsters are just screaming, let's go and have a party. And I will be adding a second birthday sentiment at the bottom of this panel later. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and color this panel using my Copic markers, but like I said before, I think this would also look awesome with some watercolors. If you do plan to do watercolor, just make sure you use water-resistant ink so that it doesn't bleed. Memento inks are not good for watercolor. So I colored almost everything except for that one balloon, which I will color in a few minutes. But I also decided that I wanted to stamp and cut out a flag so that it could hang off a card. I'm just going to stamp this on some white cardstock, again, Nina Solar White. Again, color using Copic markers and cut out using my scissors to put on top of that flag that has been already stamped and colored on my panel. I can go ahead and adhere it down to my panel, which I have already trimmed to about 4 inches wide, and I will be trimming it into about 4 inches tall as well, as I think that this would make a nice square card, and there's just too much empty space there at the top for an A2 card. I'm also going to stamp that second sentiment, hope your birthday was monstrous, and I'm going to use my black pen and fix it so that it says, hope your birthday is monstrous. This is not a belated birthday card, this is just a birthday card. Finally, I'm going to add a bit of glitter using the Wink of Stella glitter pen to my balloons and to the one-eyed monster eye, and also to the speckles on the green monster. And finally, I'm also going to cover this with some glossy accents. So here's a look at my finished card using stamps from Create a Smile. Doesn't this card make you want to smile? I think these monsters are just the cutest monsters ever. Thank you for watching. You can find the list of supplies to create this card in the video description and also on my blog. I hope you enjoy this video. See you next time. Bye!